No.
All right. I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You can
Awesome.
you can hear us, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I just have to turn it up. There we
All
go.
right. Well, how you doing, buddy? How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. Hey, thanks for all the info on what's up with you. Uh, you want to kind of give us the latest thoughts on what's the most important or priority, or what you want to share with us, and then we'll do some looking and scanning. Oh, I wanted to ask before we start: is it okay if we record this? Uh, and is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Avila sometimes will, if it's okay with the client, she will upload the video to share with the world how the stuff works. Would that be okay with you, or maybe we could block out your name or your face or something like that and use the audio? It would.
Yeah, probably if you just take my face out of it, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, but it's such a handsome face, you know.
Thanks.
All righty. And at the end of the session too, if something popped up that's real personal and confidential, you don't want it in there, we'll cut it out and stuff. So.
Okay.
No, all right. Okay, yeah. What would you like to start with or share with us?
Um, I guess for me, the biggest issue that I've been having has been the like. I guess it's energetic. Trying to get my body sorted out. I'm like constantly being twisted and compressed and pulled back to like an old position where if I don't like constantly fight it all day, I'll just end up where I can't really function again because I'm just in constant pain. So I've been working on it for almost 2 years now, but I haven't been getting any progress until recently. I started doing that ritual magic, well, basically just the beginnings of it, the lesser pentagram rituals and stuff. And I guess it was just jamming up in my system. I'm not sure, but I had to like stop that because I think I was just making myself worse and I was getting more sensitive to it. So I would feel the pressure at the beginning and I would just like try to pop my neck, jerk myself around all the time, which literally I think I've spent months and months just making it worse and worse on myself.
Yeah.
And now that I'm reversing it, like I'm getting all this progress, it's like something's working against me constantly to keep me from getting somewhere. And it's almost seems like that's like the same thing that happens with everything in my life in a strange way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I see things that I can't identify all the time and I'm feeling things around me a lot. So I figured it's best to stop with the I'll figure it out myself and then I'll learn everything and actually just get some help because this is really affecting my life.
Yeah. Okay. Have you do you do any breathing meditation or chakra meditations to light things up or balance things? Have you done any of that sort of thing?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. In fact, if I don't like visualize that these energy, the like pressures in my muscles and stuff, and do breathing exercises to like get control of it and like get myself centered again, that's like the only way I can go deliver pizza and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, Avila, do you have a sense of where to go, or are you getting a tuned in? You want to ask a few questions or talk a little bit?
Yeah, like I remember, like we had a session together and like we revoked some agreements. But since all that time, I've learned some new things, and now that you're talking, I'm getting like like clear things, like because I was dealing it with it myself. So I know like exactly what to target and like maybe a few more questions, and then I can go launch into like getting out of body to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So when you step back from this and generally look at the issue, it's going to be uh, depending on how clear one's psychic vision is and all this, you're going to see energy areas. They're going to be dark, and they might be entities. It might be the subconscious mind phenomena. It could be biological, physiological issues, but there's always going to be that energetic component, and when you scan the body, you will see it as wispy looking things or energy field stuff, or like little almost dark cloudy or spots in your body area and in your space. So
Okay.
it doesn't really matter when you do this kind of work for people like you and me. It doesn't matter if we can tell whether it's an entity or some energetic attack, a psychic attack, or somebody might have a curse, throwing a curse around, and you're affected by it, the psychology of it and the telepathic energy of it, without so much it being entity phenomena in your space. The entity or the person might be somewhere else in the world, but with all this said, what I'm saying is that Agvila can scan and look for these energy areas in your space, and I can help her. I can guide her. I can go with my intuitive stuff. I can go that, and it helps her focus in. We have that psychic connection thing, and so that helps her tune in, and then she sees very clearly. She has crystal clear visuals. It almost creeps me out how good it is. It's, you know. But anyway, that's kind of what we can do right now. In our we've got about an hour, so that'd be the fast way to go at it. Does that work for you?
That works for me.
All righty.
Alright, so like I'll probably focus on starting like from where you're feeling like someone's like like crampling you and like squeezing you and all this stuff. Is there a specific place in your body or just like throughout like everything?
A few specific spots that are consistent usually.
Okay. Could you name a few of those spots?
My lower right back, like this. I'm just gonna back up and show you.
Mm-hmm.
Like this area back here, it's always pulling over here. It's just constantly like somebody's twisting it and pulling everything in my back into a knot there. It seems like that's been the biggest issue there, down into my hips and stuff, but it's always pulling at my neck. So it would be that area, my neck, and that's about the biggest spots. I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm having some issues right at the bottom of my rib cage, but I've also, I mean, you can see the scars from it from being shot a bunch. Like I've been split open, so I know a lot of this is physiological as well.
Okay.
Just trying to get the muscles that haven't been working properly and working properly again. So
Sure. Okay. Lower back. You want to focus in on that? Okay. So we're just going to be quiet here while she does her work, and I'll guide her, and then when she gets done looking and stuff, she'll share some information with us.
Yeah, also, while I do that work, if you have any thoughts that pop up, feel free to share it. If you have any sensations in body, feel free to talk about it, and, like, I can focus in, like, as we go. So, same.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel sensations. I'm not sure how to describe it though.
Mm-hmm. Where at?
Along here.
Mm-hmm.
Just like something dropped.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll just give a little report before I get back to doing more work. As I'm focusing on like scanning and reading your body. Oops, can you hear us?
I just now started hearing you again.
Yeah, it's okay.
My eyes were closed. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I had to move the mouse to make the computer start making sound again.
And that's okay because she just started talking.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I just want to give a little report before I get back into it. So I was like scanning your body, and specifically on that side of your like your lower back. There's like a thick cluster of entities, like over 1,000, and basically they're connected to the other forces. Like if you like think of grays and other things, they're using like energetic weapons. And the idea is to torture you. Like I'm still finding out like why they're doing that stuff, but the main thing like is just torture. Like I would think like something grand or something more of a thing, but that's where it is right now. And it's as if there's like energy clusters where they're trying to rip you apart, and like mainly that pulling is the bigger force you're feeling, while like from neck and stuff, like they're trying to just like pull two different places. So I'm like getting rid of those beings and making sure like it's stopping. I've got rid of the entity clusters, but I want to scan and do some more work before we will move on somewhere else.
Okay.
Start. What happened, Anthony?
Like my guts just twisted up. Well, untwisted or something, but it was audible.
What happened, Anthony?
Just I continuously have to feel like I keep having to adjust to like let those muscles release.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I can give a little update of what I'm doing. I don't like how to describe it perfectly, but like as I'm focusing and like releasing all these little things, like getting rid of entities and different stuff, I'm looking at like some contracts or like some like strong beliefs, and I'm not sure if it's from the present life from past lives or when, but it has to do with like believing like I'm weak, I'm not good enough, and then there's like a big part of regret, which is I wanted to ask about like in present life, do you have any strong regrets of doing something, or I'm wondering if I'm digging up something from past lives, because I also dig up some like where you choose to cause pain for yourself, like I have to pain for the sins or like my wrongdoings, and so it's like when you judge yourself for doing something bad, it's similar to that where you cause yourself pain, but it's just like small part of it. Another part of it, like I'm sensing that like you were working with timelines, and you're basically like sort of saving civilizations and sort of shifting timelines where you cut out peace and make sure that everything goes well for others, and so you're saving them, but at the same time you are destroying beings that like mean a lot of harm and like into like colonizing other places and stuff, and so you sort of unmog them or get them out of time, and that causes them that pain where they're like split and torn apart, but they choose to come back and go at you, like as in like revenge, getting you back for that. And that's what I picked up so far, but I wanted to like get some of your input, like do you sense anything or have any thoughts about it?
Um, I guess let me try before I forget to go back that far. Is what you said regrets? It's probably a lot that I'm not actively just able to draw up right now, but there's some things in my life that I can. Um, since I was a little kid and I saw the Power Rangers, I thought like I was gonna grow up and be a hero or something. And I thought as I got older, that meant that I had to take my martial arts and progress it into joining the military because I wanted to fight for something. And then I got lost in that. And basically, I feel like I kind of fell to the dark side for a while. And I just wanted to be an infantry marine and go to combat so that I had something to show the world, because I felt like I was always being shoved down, even though I felt like I performed in excellence all the time.
Yeah.
So I went to Iraq and I came back and I tried to, I was a stellar Marine, especially now that things have fallen to a point where my past relationship, I was shot a bunch of times and I spent years trying to pick that back up. It's like, well, being a Marine is about the only thing and martial artist that I still have to talk about as a triumph in this life. So I guess somewhere in the background, I still deal with that, and I'm not sure how to address it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's part of it, but that's in there somewhere, and I'm feeling more emotions about it than I have in a long time. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess partly of it, like like with all those beliefs, it's also like I don't know, like psychologically or subconsciously, it's also like tearing you apart with that. So like there's quite a few things like energetically, physically, psychologically, like in lots of ways where you're being torn, and like I'm trying to just scan and get rid of those things. Do you have any ideas, Rich? Like, thoughts about it all?
Yeah. Two aspects of yourself going in different directions. Like you want to stand up stellar, that's to stand up straight, while there's this other aspect of your personality that's, like you want to kind of turn and get away from it. So these kind of phenomena can get triggered, and it's partly a subconscious. What happened in this lifetime regarding what you just shared, it will almost always be a pattern of something that's happened in our past as well. And so when it happened in this life, it triggered the past stuff. So that's a subconscious mental phenomena, the subconscious mind causing us our problems. But at the same time, the entity phenomena, it makes you a target for the entity stuff, and then you can be attacked, or there'll be a commonality between your own subconscious issues and what the dark side would like to do to you. So they will blend. They can take your weakness, so to speak, and emphasize, put emphasis on it, or increase the intensity of it, and complicate it, so you can't tell if it's physical, if it's past injury, past life injury, or psychic attack. It's deception all the way. And so it's all playing a part in there, but as we shed the light on this, we can start, well, there's that, and there's that, and there's that. And the entity stuff, oftentimes, if you shine the light on it like a freaking cockroach, it will run back to the darkness, and it'll wait till it's dark again before it comes out. It's kind of like that with this entity stuff. So that's my thoughts on it.
So I guess I can keep focusing on maybe the origins of where they all started, where like two aspects of you like they were like one and then splits into two like different like parts, and just focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I got an idea of like what's going on. I'm still like sort of digesting my information, but I was like sort of sensing this sort of a tube-looking thing, and it's like like a round thing, or like a structure, but it's like very dense, and it's as if like there's like a flow. I can't say there's a liquid, but there's a constant flow, and that is a tube full of souls. So literally, like it's a soul trap where beings are constantly like crashed and like sort of like dumping in there, and they cannot escape. There is no way out, and so all of them are constantly being shoved in, and it's around Earth. Like this event takes place before, or like it's still happening, but where you come in is before entering Earth. That's before the Earth becomes a prison planet, so to speak. And so they have this sort of device or structure construct ready, where there's like a bunch of like a sea or a tube of souls that are like stuck in one place, and so there's one thing like of how it all works, and where you come in handy, but basically with all those souls like being trapped, it's like really dense, and there is no place. So all of the beings come into one, like a soul becomes like two souls, three souls comes into one, and then they scatter around again. So like it's like combining a lot of beings into one and then shattering them again, because there is no place for them to like be separate and stuff. And so there's like a random hole where they like shut out whenever there's a physical body ready, like a vessel. So that's like how people get incarnated, or after death they get back their body. And where you come in handy, like you are more of a hero looking being who's like hey, I can solve it, like I can help those beings. And you cannot destroy it from outside, you can only just destroy that construct from the inside. So you have to get in to take it out, and once you get in, you have a clear goal of how to take it out. But with all the other beings and personalities and like coming into you, now you have some other beings, and they splatter all again. So you have a clear goal, and then some other come into you, and so it's like you start having different memories, have different personalities, have different things, and it's happening constantly again and again and again, until you're sort of like a brainwashed, forgetting your goal, forgetting your purpose and different things, and then boom, you accidentally just it's like shooting out beings randomly. So there's not like there's a line, but like whoever happens to be at a certain time, whenever it like goes through the certain hole, you get a body. And so with all that happening, it's like you had a few beings come into one. So there's your soul and other beings, and it's all in one. And now it reaches the point where because of your lifestyle, because of what you are finding out, those beings are waking up and they want to get out, but you're all in one body, and so they're like breaking apart, and that makes it really hard for them to escape. So like that's what I found so far, but we still need to dig in deeper and like sort of find a way to break that apart. But yeah,
Okay.
crazy.
Okay.
I was tripping my cat out, by the way. He's like up on my lap, but while you were doing that, he's like looking all over the place.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts, like next thing I should focus on and stuff? 'Cause, like,
Yeah, I wanted to get some more clarity on this tube thing. Is it like a donut sort of shape, but around the Earth or
actually,
something
I
like
would
that?
even say like a spiral, because there's like lots of like spirals, but like it just
Like a pipe in a spiral, and within the pipe there are entities or beings,
yeah.
and they get funneled um, along with Anthony.
Yeah.
Uh, and then there's a compression sort of thing where they all get squished together, so to speak, as one.
Yeah.
But then there's is it like at the end of the spiral they come out, or is it like holes in the sides that the beings will come out?
We
so
can
to
imagine like
speak?
if Earth would be here, then like here we would have spirals all over the place, and there's like sort of a few holes at the middle. So you travel like throughout it all, and you lose your sense of time and space because it's all like it's all sort of dark, and you just keep on going with all those like other beings, and you like all get into one, and then like keep shattering until at some point like it just like sort of poops like drops you out and stuff like that. So
Out the bottom or out the inside of the
the
vortex?
inside like
Inside?
yeah,
Sort of-
inside the vortex.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that being is like free to incarnate,
Yes.
like a one-way street,
Yeah,
so
like,
to speak.
like get a physical body.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. All right. Continue.
Yeah. So continuing with should I try to get those beings that want to escape like out or
Yeah, let's. Yeah, see if you can get some separation between them and Anthony, help them wake up and get free, and whether they incarnate or like no, they're already here. So, yeah, whatever your idea of out would be, but to help them wake up and be themselves.
Yeah.
And you can also look for if there's a controller or an in charge of the whole thing that's trying to keep them organized and to stay as one and do somebody else's bidding, sort of thing.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just like picking up like there's so three beings in total, you and two others. So I'll try to get those to like wake up and get out. And I'm like seeing like how all of these like consciousness like doesn't have enough space in the body. And so three beings are squished and they like want to get out, which is why you get those instances where like where you're feeling pull on your lower back and like your neck. That's where like they have their own little space and they're like trying to like make some space for themselves, and it's pretty tight there. So
There's another phenomena that the subconscious mind is very literal with programming and commands, and I can see a relationship between the spiral and it's like a twisting, and you get twisted back into another body. So it's the command is twist back, and so that can cause you on a subconscious level to twist your back. And of course, there'll be reasons for twisting your back, of course, but it causes the twist back phenomena.
Okay.
And it's just an interesting, it's not a synchronicity so much as a very literal translation of a programmed command, implanted command within the subconscious. Twist back, and it's you, and it's these entities within your space, and it's all these beings that are being funneled through this thing. They're being twisted back into another incarnation or another cluster, and you're sensing it and feeling it physiologically, and as a response, you are twisting your back. This is just part of the complexity of it all.
I mean, as much as it doesn't make sense, it makes sense. Like somewhere.
Yeah, really. Huh? Okay.
right. Yeah, like, there's a lot. Like, so I was like learning how the whole structure and everything else works, and you can imagine like, are some places like factories where they put things in like sacks or plastic bags and stuff, and so you can imagine like when beings become like get into one, like they like sort of fuse beings, And when you're about to leave, you leave as like a package of a few like beingness, personalities, and different stuff. And it's as if the handler is like that plastic bag that's gonna get you all in one place. And so like it puts you in like it's like a trap, a cage, or something. And so as parts of you, or like like those are like souls or consciousness or parts that like want to leave, they want to be free, but they cannot because there's this cage holding them back. And like metaphors or however we speak, when there's a wild animal, you want to hold them tight or like get them in control so that they won't run around, so you squeeze them tighter. And that's when you, depending on how you live and because you are waking them up, like those parts, they want to be free, and that handler doesn't want that, so there's this squeeze constantly. So the squeeze and cause that like everyone's being sort of squeezed in one place, and then there's this sort of like like those sort of like we follow that. So as this is happening, I got rid of the handler, and it has the like it's like the energetic body that holds everything together. But then there's sort of, we could talk about like reptilians that create the construct. So there's like this 12-foot bluish green reptilian with horns and different things. And so I get rid of him, and he's connected to one of the reptilian queens that create the whole construct. So get rid of that. And so I believe that like that get some work done, because like it releases the parts from you and other like beings who are still like affected by the sort of same machine or construct. And so those parts of you were able to leave, and now it's just you in your own space. And I was like trying to get your missing soul aspects back, as like the parts got like fragmented in the whole soul machine, so it would be just you and no one else. So that's pretty much the work I've been doing, like pretty much making sure that there's nothing holding like all of you in one place, and nothing else affecting you. So we'll see.
I can go ahead and say that physically I'm feeling relief that I haven't felt. Period.
Wow. Okay. Good.
Yeah, that's
It's kind of weird, and I'm used to weird things happening.
Good deal. So, we're about to wrap it up. It was an hour, right? Is that what we?
close. Like we still have a few minutes, like 4
Yeah,
minutes.
we got a little more time here. Was there any other thing you would like us to look into, or maybe we just kind of go over what we've done today?
Would I'm assuming this is going to also help with my animals. I'm assuming that my cats are being messed with a lot. Like timing wise, it's just like it can't be. I don't believe in coincidence.
Yeah.
So like strategic moments that the cats would decide to get in a fight. Or I mean, we have one that the other ones like hunt and stalk for some reason. It's just the weirdest stuff. Like even just coming up and like surprising me and pissing me off when I'm like relaxed, and then come puts a claw in the side of me or something.
Well, Agvila has a cat, and she's kind of in tune with the cat. What are your thoughts about his cat's reactions?
They can totally sense it and feel it. Like I haven't been in the cat body and see what they see, but I believe they totally can pick up the entities, and they know you, and they know beings that mean harm to you, and literally, your physical body is here, and the handler is actually like a layer on top of you. And if the handler is causing you some damage, like you're trying to relax, you're waking those beings up, and you're getting better. The handlers doesn't want that, so they squeeze you, they do something to you, or they're about to do that, and the cat can literally, what the fuck are you doing? And like like they're gonna like basically take care of the handler without realizing that they're hurting you physically. Like so that'd be the take. But I can also like do some scanning and make sure that like scan your body again and the house and make sure that there's no entities or other things bothering the cats and stuff. Because it is a thing, so whichever you prefer.
I guess if you can take a look, it's just strange to me because I'm trying to like read into it, but I also know that it's cat. So like maybe he's just repeatedly getting bored because he's being forced to live indoors. you know.
Yeah.
So that rational part of my brain like fights it sometimes.
Yeah.
But I also like I have a medical card for marijuana, and I have found a lot of relief, but I know that I'm using it way too much,
Yeah.
and I can't. He like comes and interrupts me every time I go to do it. And I'm like, how intelligent are you? Like, what's the background thing making you do this every time? Like, are you trying to upset me, or are you trying to get me to stop doing that?
Yeah, yeah. Well, Agvila can take a look and see what you see. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. There.
Yeah, I'm pretty much picking up that the cats are trying to protect you in a way, because you can imagine like whatever your thoughts might be, your vibration will be at one stage, and your fast emotions will cause certain vibration, and whenever you focus something or you're about to do something to escape certain thought or emotion, uh, that might attract entities, and they're kind of getting close to your surroundings. Not that they can harm you a lot, but they can cause some thinking or sort of enhance the feeling state or whatever. And so when they get close, you can imagine like there's food in the fish tank and the fish is gonna come close. But if something like drops, they're all gonna scatter away. So same way, when entities are coming close to you for whatever reason, the cat can hit you or mess with you, and that really shakes you up. And it's like an explosion or a bang in the energy surroundings, and all the ends that are coming close, like sneaking up, it's like, oh fuck, like these get scared and stuff. So like sort of shakes it up.
Yeah, that sounds more like the cats. The cats I know. Yeah, they're very psychic and spiritual, and they're very loving and protective of their human friends. That's my understanding of it
Yeah, they're fighting upstairs right
too.
now.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, we can hear them. Yeah.
It's very funny. Um, okay, so I guess as like a recap, is there things I should be putting into practice to like be helping myself in the situations um, in the future? Like the stuff that I mean, I physically feel relief right now, but um, is this something I'm gonna have to maintain and figure out, or is this like kind of you just fix something?
Well, I'll give you my thoughts, and then Agvila can and share
Sure.
hers. When you're doing, when you're smoking your marijuana, no, I don't see anything wrong with that at all. But when you do it, uh, intentionally put a shielding around you, a little added protection, because that causes changes in your energy field, and it can attract or make it easier for some types of entities to like slip in. But just
Okay.
protect yourself in that way when you do it, and actually consciously, uh, telepathically ask your cats to help protect you in certain kind of circumstances, or when you're doing your meditations or relaxation stuff. I
Okay.
think that's a good thing. Uh, and have you ever done the emotional freedom technique called tapping? Have you ever heard of that or done that?
I've heard of it, but I haven't. No, not enough. No.
um, yeah, I'll send you a link. It's a whole big thing, and it's basically you focus on your issue like this while you're tapping your body, and it breaks the connection between the subconscious mind, the thought, and the subconscious mind doing all the things it's doing. Because when you're thinking the thought of, oh my, let's say, yeah. So when you're tapping and thinking about the issue, like, let's say a craving for chocolate, uh, and you focus on it, you say, oh, I have a craving for chocolate, oh, I want some chocolate. But you're tapping, you have to put some attention on your feeling state, physical feeling state. So there's a whole lot more to it, but it breaks the connection, and the technique, it's called tapping, does all kinds of powerful changes for people. It was researched and developed and tweaked in the veterans hospitals with people with post-traumatic stress syndrome, and it worked really, really, really powerfully. So it's a simple technique to learn. You can do EFT tapping on YouTube, and there's a lot of people will show you how to do it. So that's probably the easiest way. And I'll send you a link to the guy's website that developed it. So that might be something you want to begin using to help with your energy
I'll look
system.
into.
Another thing that pops in my mind is because, like, since there were other entities and beings close in your surroundings, you telepathically pick up their thoughts because you're intuitive. So they can have a chat, but it all will be in your head because you can pick it up and you will think that it's you thinking, and there's like a lot of chatter. So if there are any patterns where you think negatively, you have like same old phrases. Like, start paying attention to what's going on in your mind, and specific repetitive phrases that are not serving you or are sort of make you doubtful or something that is not good for you. Try to notice them and try to like sort of break the pattern and stop thinking about it, because now that the beings are gone, it's now your sort of habit. It's not you, it's the habit that's left. So you have to sort of take it away to not attract it or recreate it. And by that, sort of affirmations probably sort of just like when something's like just like redirect. So if you have a negative thought, redirect it into something positive that would serve you, and sort of instead of twisting back like, my back is healthy, I'm doing really great, and sort of that will sort of like the more you pay attention and redirect it to serve you, the more you will break all the patterns that will happen sort of automatically now because being slept, but you still can sort of recall it, and from then on, you can sort of just build it up.
I'll keep working on that then. That's something I've actually been trying. Well, I've been actually getting a lot of success with that.
That's good.
I mean, 2 years ago, I was a negative person still. Like, and every situation, I would automatically start like going down the toilet bowl of negative outcomes for the situation and try to prepare for all of them as well. So having to like inventory why am I worrying about this stuff right now? Or I can think about what I'm going to say to the boss at work 1,000 times this weekend, but if I don't let it go, like it's not going to change. Like it's not helping me at all. It's just making it worse. But the same thing. So I'll keep working on that because it is helping, and it makes more sense because I keep wondering. I don't even want to feel like this. It doesn't even feel like me. But I just can't tell what's going on a lot of times. So that's why I stopped eating my own mushrooms. I was growing my own mushrooms, and I got to a point where I would only eat like a gram or so because I could more easily access different states of mind. I can pretty easily manipulate energy, and it just gets way easier. And it's like it just turns me up. But at the same time, it's like I start wondering, like, okay, who the fuck am I talking to? It's like there's 3 or 4 of me fucking having a conversation, and it's all in my voice, but it's starting to not feel like me, and and then I got wrapped in the crazy feeling. I'm like, I can't use this anymore like this.
Yeah. But it's as we become more aware of what really is going on, metaphysically, psychologically, spiritually, psychically, we're finding the truth of things, and it sounds crazy. But what you tapped into was a greater awareness and consciousness of what's going on. It's not crazy, weird imagination thinking sideways stuff that's not true. No, that's how it works. But to have the awareness that they're talking in your voice, but it's not you, that's an awareness level of your mushrooms are working.
I've been in that psychedelic state to where it's like just kind of breaking the veil down for me to where it's almost like I can see like a grid of everything, like holographic lines of it. And now I've sat here just, man, I feel like this is how I'm supposed to feel all the time. Like I don't feel impaired.
Yeah.
I don't want to, but I feel like I could go out and drive a tractor trailer But I also feel like I know what I'm dealing with. I'm like going with the flow, but my thoughts are I can not be all screwed up and stuff. So it's almost like I can manifest money in a couple minutes if I just thought about it.
Yeah.
And I've like purposefully, I think, tried not to be doing anything to better myself with meditation or any of this stuff, because that awareness was putting so much awareness to the tension in my body and stuff as well, because I'd have to use my breathing and try to relax, and boom, now I'm having a physical issue and I don't want to fucking do anything anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Well, this world is an amazing experience, I'll tell you that. So,
I'm trying to figure out if I want to continue to talk to strangers or people at work about things like this, or if I want to just keep it to myself for now.
yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if I invite more problems on myself just by bringing it up to other people or trying to make people aware of stuff that I'm becoming aware of and that they're not yet. They're starting to see it.
Yeah, that's always a challenge. You know how I do it, right? I get on YouTube. I don't have to face anybody that I'm talking to, right? I just say my piece and like pretend like everybody loves it.
Right.
But I hear you. Talking to people, real people around in your environment, that's that takes finesse. So so good luck with that. Let us know how that works out, whether you do it or don't do it, or what you do or how you share it.
Right. Well, I think I probably will try to have another session with you guys in maybe about a month or so.
Oh, it'd be great. We'd love to.
On my progress and what's going on.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah.
we'd love it. Well, alrighty. I guess we better take off, and we got a couple more sessions to do here in a little bit. So,
All right.
all right, buddy. It was really nice talking to you, Anthony. I
Yeah.
know Agvila met you earlier, but I think this is the first time we've talked. It's a good connection.
Yeah.
I feel like kindred
I've
spirits
listened to
here.
you for a long time though.
Yeah. Oh, good, good. Okay, buddy. Hey, where are you at in the world? You're in the States, yeah?
Pennsylvania,
Yeah. Okay.
just outside of Lancaster,
Okay.
Amish country.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. You take care now, all right?
Thanks, you too.
Okay. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.